We're ready now.
What's up, everybody? I'm Dorian Renaud, and this is my very busy friend, Bridget Kelly.
Hi.
We've been friends. We're just talking for 8 years now. That's crazy, man.
That's so crazy.
Have I interviewed you before?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. I mean, I feel like I'm always interviewing you when we talk.
I mean, I feel like most of our conversations
go
are
in
interviews because we just be, we cover a lot of ground
through life and shit. So yeah, I got some notes on you. I had to Google you last night, which was pretty interesting. I've never Googled you. I Google really myself quite often, but not any of my friends. I guess I just care about myself. But I did Google you, and I found some interesting things.
What did you find?
Just a whole lot of shit that I didn't know.
Damn.
So for all of you guys that don't know Bridget Kelly, you got your career started working under Jay-Z.
Yes.
You were signed to Roc Nation for a minute, and
was.
you were the girl. See, I had got her confused because I was watching the MTV Movie Awards and Jay was performing New York, and I was like, that's not Alicia Keys.
Mm-hmm.
I was disappointed at first, but then when you started singing,
you were like,
I was like, all right, she can stay.
But she
cool.
Stay.
And so then after that, you did what? You toured with Jay, and then you eventually signed to Roc Nation.
Well, I was signed when I went on tour.
Oh, okay.
I was signed already, so it kind of started out as a favor. It was like, hey, what are you doing on Friday night? And I was like, nothing.
Want to perform for like 50,000 people?
Well, they didn't tell me what it was. They were like, just show up at rehearsal. They were like, we'll just come in. And initially, they sent me the record, and before the song even came out. And I was like, oh, this is cute.
Yeah.
And I got hyped because I was like, oh my God, you guys, I'm going to be singing background for Alicia Keys. I'm singing background for Alicia Keys. I made it.
You were kind of Alicia Keys that night.
And then I got there and they were like, no, this is your mic. Alicia can't come. So learn the words, learn the whole melody, the lead.
Dope.
And I was like, I got to go pray. I got to go throw up. I got to do everything at the same time. I don't know what to make of this moment right here. It was great.
Wow, but we can kind of thank Alicia Keys for not showing up.
You know what? It really just that one time. It was just that one time that I needed it, and it created such a splash that he was like, "This is great. You can come on tour." So I was on tour for about 1.5 years.
Yeah, so I met you around that time. Mm-hmm. You were like back and forth from tour to LA.
I hadn't lived here yet. When we first met, I hadn't lived here yet.
No, you came over for dinner.
Yes.
I think you helped cook.
With Stacey.
It was Stacey and Tierra.
Yes.
And we'll get to you and Tierra and how you guys are connected now later. But that was crazy because that was so long ago. And I remember being like, wow, like, you have this big career that's about to start with, Roc Nation, and then you were releasing music. You did a song with Kendrick Lamar, and then things were going good. And then it was a time where it was like Bridget started putting music out on your own in a way. Yeah. So what was that process from being with such a big label like Roc Nation, and what happened with that situation?
Well, I signed a 360 deal, which essentially covers everything. It's publishing, it's being an artist, it's everything. They own you. Which essentially every label does at this point. Every label signs a 360 deal with a new artist. So I was with them for about 6 years, and we recorded a lot of records. We did a lot of music. And ultimately what kind of put everything into a weird spiral was what happened with Frank Ocean and the Thinking About Forever record.
Right, because what a lot of people don't know, I know this, that Thinking About You was your song first. Yes. I remember you played it for me and I was like, oh shit, this is going to be a hit.
And we did a whole album around that song.
That's crazy.
So he
took the song back.
He took the song back because he wanted it to go to a bigger artist.
Wow.
He really felt like, well, no, not even. He really wanted it to go to Beyonce or Rihanna at the time. And that's also because he knew how big of a record it was.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of writers in general, when they pen records and they feel like it's a hit, they want it to go to somebody that they know already has a platform, that they know is already going to propel the record forward. And I think it wasn't a personal attack on me.
Right.
I think it was more so in his mind, like, well, Roc Nation may or may not push this on this new artist. They may not do it right. So if it's not going to be on somebody established, then I want it.
How did you feel? Was it?
I was
because you had already put it out.
Well, I had recorded it, and I did a whole project around it. I was devastated. Yeah, I was devastated. And it was a huge record. My producer Shay Taylor did the music. So ultimately for me, I could have put a whole stop to it and been like, nope, can't have it. Sorry. And, it would have been a lawsuit, but I felt like it was such an incredible song that I wanted Shay to be able to shine as well and really get the recognition he deserved for that record.
So you could have fought for that record. And sometimes do you say, damn I should have fought for the record?
Well, no, because once it was already out, I realized that because of where he was in his career, it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
people were loving, he had just put Nostalgia Ultra out, everybody was into it.
Right.
But I think that took the wind out of everybody's sails.
Have you talked to him about that afterwards? Have you seen him? Because I know, we all started around the same time.
I ran into him.
He's familiar.
I ran into him at you were with me actually. It was Andre Merritt had a house party. Andre Merritt's another songwriter. He had a house party, and Frank was there. He came in, and I mean, I didn't know him as Frank initially when I was introduced to him years before he was Lonnie. Course, so. He came in and, Stacey saying hello and he kind of like looked at me and then kind of walked out.
Like, damn,
and
I
gotta go. I gotta go.
And it blew me up. Oh shit, let me get out of here.
We never had a conversation after that.
But it's no hard feelings.
I mean, not anymore. I was a little salty in the beginning. And I was like, if I saw him, I would probably have some words.
Right, of course.
With some hand claps. But otherwise, no, I let it go. But Roc Nation was cool. I was with them for 6 years, and then I left.
And it seems like you still have great relationships over there. You're still cool with everybody.
Well, I'm still a songwriter. I'm still signed to them for publishing. So I mean, I'm still technically under the umbrella.
Family. Yeah, that's why you be at the Roc Nation brunch and every year that I can't go to. Damn. Hopefully next year. I'm trying to get invited.
You got
to
call
brunch.
Your cousin. You got to get Beyonce on the line.
I don't have to call Beyonce. I'm calling brunch invite. I will be there. Yeah. But now that brings us to where you are now.
Yes.
And you're on Love and Hip Hop, of course, as you guys know. And I remember when you told me you were doing it, I was like, ooh.
You were like, ooh, I don't know.
No. Your manager over there sitting in the corner.
She said, I don't know, too.
I was like, I don't know, because we talk about career, we talk about life, we talk about everything.
Yes.
And at the time, you were with James, and I was like, man, you guys shouldn't do that. You guys won't have a relationship when that's over.
You did.
Y'all don't.
You said it. And he was right. And we don't. We're no longer together.
You should have took my advice.
I should have absolutely.
Everything happens for a reason, though.
Yes.
But actually watching the show, like watching you on there the first season that you were on, and then kind of like watching you through Instagram land right now and kind of seeing what the show is going to be and some things that you share with me, I think it's a good move. Because television is a very powerful place to be.
It is.
And if you have a story and you're authentic, then your story gets told and it can happen for you, especially because you do music. So I think the show is cool for music, but how has the experience been for you? Do you regret it sometimes? And or you, because I feel like some people, they do it, like Keisha Cole, and like you could tell the whole time she's filming, she's like regretting it bad. And and then you never see them again after one season.
Right.
And you're kind of like doing it wholeheartedly, you taking it in.
Yes.
Do you feel like you're diving, head first in it and you kind of going with it, or do you regret it sometimes?
I think the last season was really I was a punching bag. Mm-hmm. And I took a lot of hits last season. And I think it was a learning experience, if nothing else. I'd never been on a reality show, so I had no idea how it worked. We filmed a bunch of things out of order. You know what I mean? Things got edited, things got cut out, conversations got cut out, so you don't really ever get to see the whole story. Mm-hmm. Which, it's crazy because I read and reading the comments and stuff on like Shade Room and Baller Alert, everybody says that. It's like, no, production cut this. And everyone's like, no, they didn't. You're just a bitch. And it's like, now living it, I'm like, no, you really don't understand. Yeah. They really cut a lot of shit out.
But you now can look at it like a job. Like,
right, it's a job.
Going to work. You guys just got back from London.
Yes.
Did everybody get along in London?
Yeah, well, they filmed it like it was Housewives. You know what I mean? So they put us in a house. We got to spend time.
They elevated y'all. But I will say this: the Hollywood version is a whole lot different than the other versions. Right. So you guys have a little bit more class attached to it, which
the great thing about this season for me is that all of the focus is on the music.
Yeah.
So I mean, last season a lot of the focus was on relationships. So that part of it was kind of annoying. And because obviously my relationship fell apart.
Yeah,
on camera.
Now you can focus on the music.
But now, I mean, it's really now I kind of I look at this as my redemption season, where it's like now I'm going to remind y'all why I'm here. Do you know what I mean? It's not about It's not about relationships. It's not even about. It's not about any of it. It's really just about music. That's the only reason I'm here.
So speaking of music, your last project, Reality Bites, I love.
Yes, thank you.
I always loved your music.
I had to play.
Listen.
You had a first listen, a second listen, a third listen.
Seriously. But I always have loved your music, and I've always told you that.
Yes.
So tell us about Reality Bites, and what has it been like putting it out independently and on your own?
Well, Reality Bites was my first full-length album. So that for me was already a milestone.
And the fans have been asking for that, because I look at your comments.
Yes.
Like, what album?
Everybody's like, this is cute, but where's the album? And so it was an incredible feat for me to get it done, put it out myself and with my team, you know what I mean? And really, and have that be, the final chapter to so many aspects of my story and my life. I feel like I bared my soul more honestly in this project than any other project. Wow. Which is great because it's closure. You know what I mean? It's closure for me on a lot of things. Reality Bites, the reason I called it Reality Bites was because it was kind of a double entendre. And for me, it was snippets of my reality, like small bites of reality. I felt like, my life kind of went upside down last year because of reality TV. And then I also kind of looked at it as, reality bites, like it sucks sometimes.
That's
you know what
good
I mean?
Branding.
Life is shitty.
You know what?
Like it really,
you are
really
a good brander, Bridget Kelly. Reality Bites. Okay, and that's out right now.
It's out right now.
You can get it on all streaming platforms. Okay, so this show's called The Glory, of course. And, I like to ask all my guests, what has been your glory moment? But you and I have something personal in common. We recently lost a friend.
Yes.
That's why I started this show, because you could be gone tomorrow.
Right.
And we forget to honor those moments that make us go like, wow, like I did it, or even if the next day is bad.
Yeah.
Okay. It's these moments that make you say like, man, like I'm here, I feel good, and I'm happy where I am. What was a recent glory moment for you?
Putting this album out was a glory moment for me. And I think mainly because I did not anticipate doing it without a major label. I didn't, it was a start-stop process for so many years. So it felt like, okay, am I ever going to get it done? Am I ever going to really do it? And am I ever really going to tell my story as transparently as possible? And I did. And I think that for me, that's my glory moment. It's like, okay, that was to me going to be the determining factor of, do I keep going down this path with music? Because I've been in this industry for 10 years and it's taken more from me than it's given.
Right.
Or do I just, do I count this as, okay, did my album, this was great and I'm out, bye. Yeah. And I tried to gauge, what I was going to feel once it was released. And I surprised myself in feeling like, okay, this was great. Now what's the next project?
Right.
On to the next. You know what I mean? I'm still in love with music. I'm still in love with it. I can't shake it. Every time I'm like, all right, let me deviate from the path a little bit. Something brings me right back.
Right. Yeah. I feel like you're a little bit more liberated nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
And I want everybody to check out Reality Bites. You can find it on every single streaming platform. This is my lovely guest and friend, Miss Bridget Kelly. Give yourself a round of applause.
Yes. Thanks.